This week on Kamikaze Cookery, the three of us were arguing. Again.
I mean, Jamie Oliver or something's not that hard.
No. Jamie's all, just slosh a bit in. He never tells you how much to slosh in or why.
They know how to do them. Average Joe public doesn't know how to do them, so they don't stand a chance.
So what we need really, in order to test this, would be some normal people.
Anybody know any normal people?
In a world where a long-running argument went like that.
Oh shit, we're rolling. Okay. We've decided to test whether normal people can cook recipes from glossy celebrity chef cookbooks. This week, it's my turn. First job is to choose a celeb chef. And frankly, there's only one Mockney Pratt for the job. Jamie Oliver is Britain's most popular Cockney chef, which is funny, because he's about as Cockney as Boris Johnson late one evening, wearing a mink stole, stocking suspenders and a pearl necklace. Ew. Jamie Oliver has produced about 3.5 billion books and television shows, and he's introduced words like pucker, delish, and my mate JK from Jamiroquai to an adoring nation of morons. So that's our celeb chef sorted. All I need now is a normal person. Are there any normal people out there? Bugger. Plan B. Like most people who would be buying Mockney Pratt's books, Steve Wallace is a very normal person. In between making motion graphics for an internet cookery show, he breaks computer games, he contributes to somethingawful.com, and he's the most normal person I could find on short notice. So, Steve, you ever cooked any celebrity chef recipes?
Not so much, no.
Not so much.
Not really. Not at all.
You ever thought about doing one?
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
Steve seemed perfect. From Jamie's Italy, which I understand is a book, not an invasion attempt, I'd chosen Pici Con Ragu. Jamie has us hand-roll our own noodles, then make up his version of a ragu, which is what we'd call a bolognese sauce. Every part of Italy has its own version of ragu, so I wanted to see how the Mockney Pratt fared against 2,000 years of cooking culture. He says his housekeeper made this look easy, so I couldn't see us having any problems.
Right, so what you need is a pound of finely ground semolina flour.
Okay. Mixture in premium white.
Is that white or brown, do you think?
I don't know.
Is that self-raising or non, do you think?
I don't think it matters when we actually have any semolina flour.
They don't have any semolina flour at all, do they?
No.
Right, well that is a bit of a bugger, because the semolina flour is kind of the main component of the recipe.
It could be a problem. Could be an issue.
I tell you what, hang on.
As I flew across the cosmos with the power of special effects, it occurred to me that people who don't have an editing crew to teleport them around might find this aspect of the recipe just a little tricky.
Right, as it happens, we were talking about this in pre-production, and the producer of Kamikaze Cookery thought this was a perfectly straightforward recipe and all these ingredients are dead easy to get.
And he was wrong.
Yeah. Semolina flour.
Yeah, not in...
Hanging around in Hugh's cupboard.
Of course.
Jamie tells us to make all the pasta up first, and only then to do the sauce, which takes a further 2 hours. Some of us want to eat today, so bollocks to that. I made the executive decision to put the sauce on first and to make up the pasta while it's simmering.
Right, now it says here that we have to peel the onion, P-E-A-L. This is clearly one of those specialist culinary jobs, so I'll do that one. Hear ye! Hear ye! Jamie can't spell! Jamie can't spell! Add a splash of olive oil.
How big is a splash?
Yes.
That's more a dribble, isn't it?
It's kind of in between a dribble and a splash. I'd say that was a slosh.
We fried the onions, then added tomatoes, mince, rosemary and bay leaves. Very, very carefully.
So when it says here, a saucepan big enough to hold all the ingredients, to be fair, it should really say a stupendously large
A much
saucepan.
bigger saucepan than you think you'll need.
With the sauce seething gently like a vicar reading the Daily Mail, we had plenty of time for Steve to quickly knock up some pasta.
We better not be making that much.
I was kind of hoping you weren't going to notice that.
That's going to take weeks.
This was the bit that worried me. Making dough can be a nightmare. However, it turns out that Steve is a master baker. I said baker.
Oh, you've done this before.
Yes. Sorry, we...
Because the last time I made bread, I think, was in infant school. And I have absolutely no clue what to do at this stage.
See, we never got to do anything interesting in infant school. It was just what I did on my holidays and crap paintings. I had to do my bread making as a grown-up.
At this stage, you're less normal than I am.
That's frightening.
Steve worked the dough like a pro, whilst I advised.
Slacker. I bet he's gone to the pub.
I hate kneading. Why do we need to do it? Flour contains short chains of a protein mix called gluten. That comes from the Latin word for glue, so there's our Roman connection again. When we knead, what we're doing is mashing the gluten up, unfolding it into long chains that bond together to form a network. It's a bit like we're creating a wheat-based version of Skynet. The semolina flour is actually important because semolina has a high gluten content, but the gluten in it is less elastic than the gluten in bread flour. If we'd used bread flour for this, we'd end up with pasta that twanged. Possibly.